This dollar lost over 25% of its purchasing power in the last 5 years alone. That's not a theory, that's just math. But here's what's wild. While this was losing value, one asset outperformed every stock, index fund, and piece of real estate on the planet over the last decade. And no, I'm not talking about trading it, or charts, or candlesticks, or buying the dip. I'm talking about something most people completely miss about Bitcoin. Something that once you understand it, changes the way you think about your money, your future, and your freedom. And by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly why people who get this are protecting the future for themselves, their families, and even future generations, and how you can too, even if right now you feel like you're years behind. So here's what I think is actually going on with you right now. You've heard about Bitcoin maybe for years. You know what's important, you can sense that. But every time you try to actually learn about it or do something with it, you hit a wall. You go on Reddit at midnight trying to figure out which wallet to use. You watch a YouTube video that's either way too technical or way too hyped up. You open an exchange, stare at the screen, and think, am I about to lose everything? Maybe you bought a little. Maybe you haven't done anything yet because the fear of messing up is louder than the fear of missing out. And the worst part, you can't even explain to your partner or your family why you think this matters. You just know it does. But you don't have the words yet or the confidence. So you stay stuck. Another month goes by, it turns into another year. The price goes up, you kick yourself. The price goes down, you feel relieved you didn't buy. And then guilty that you're still in the exact same spot. And here's what I want you to hear. It's not your fault. You're not behind because you're lazy or slow. You're stuck because no one's giving you a clear, honest path from I'm curious to I actually know what I'm doing. Until now. Imagine this for a second. You wake up and you actually understand how Bitcoin works. Not just surface level, but really understand it. You know how to buy it safely, how to store it properly. You know how to think about it long term in a way that makes sense for you and your life. Your partner asks you about it, and instead of fumbling through some half explanation you read on Twitter, you calmly walk them through it. And they get it. Maybe for the first time, they're actually on board. You're not anxious anymore. You're not second guessing every decision. You have a plan and you trust it because someone who's been doing this for over 13 years helped you build it. That's what I've helped people do through something I call the Bitcoin blueprint. Now, you've probably heard promises like this before. This course will change your life. Just follow these steps. And then you bought the course, watched 2 modules, got confused, and never finished. I get it. That's exactly why this is different, but I'll get to that in a minute. What I will tell you is this: the people I work with aren't crypto bros or day traders. They're professionals, parents, business owners, regular people who just want to understand this thing and use it wisely. And now they do. If you're someone who knows Bitcoin matters but can't seem to get past the overwhelm, this is built for you. If you're looking for a get rich quick scheme or someone to tell you when to buy and sell, then this is not for you. And I'd honestly respect you more for clicking away right now than wasting both our time. Let me tell you how I got here. In 2013, I discovered Bitcoin, was immediately fascinated, but back then, there was almost nothing out there to learn from. No courses, no creators explaining it, virtually nothing at all. So I did what most people do. I tried to figure it out on my own. And I paid for that education the hard way. I got scammed more than once, I'm ashamed to admit. I sent coins to the wrong address and watched them disappear, set up a wallet incorrectly and couldn't access what I'd stored. I'd spend weeks, even months, going deep on something only to realize I'd been focused on the wrong thing. It was slow and painful, and honestly, there were moments I wondered if it was even worth it. But I kept going because underneath all the frustration, I could see what Bitcoin actually was: not just a financial asset, but a tool for sovereignty, a way to opt out of a system that debases your currency every year and then asks you to trust it. And as I kept going year after year, something clicked. I didn't just understand Bitcoin anymore. I knew how to explain it, how to make it simple, how to help someone go from total beginner to genuinely confident. And it wasn't long before my career began to merge with my passion. I started writing about Bitcoin and crypto full time. Over the last 8 years, I've written hundreds of articles for companies like SoFi, BitPay, Cointelegraph, and more. I co-authored a white paper for Soluna Holdings and a white paper for the largest solar-powered Bitcoin mining project in North America. Created content for Blockworks, one of the biggest media companies in the space. Mainstream news outlets like KSL in Utah and I-24 in Israel reached out to interview me, and the list goes on. And throughout that whole time, as Bitcoin kept going mainstream, more and more people kept asking me questions about it. They wanted to know how to get involved and where to start. And the answers to those questions tend to lead to even more questions. And that's why I built the Bitcoin blueprint. Here's what most people think the problem is: they think I just need more information. So they go find more information, more videos, more articles, more threads, more opinions from strangers on the internet. And they often end up even more confused than when they started. Because information was never the problem. The real problem is that no one's guiding you through the information. No one's telling you what to focus on first, what to ignore, and what actually matters for your specific situation. It's like being handed a 1,000-piece puzzle with no picture on the box. You've got all the pieces, you just have no idea how they fit together. And the few programs that do exist, they're either focused entirely on trading, which is like gambling with extra steps added, or they're run by people who got into this space 2 years ago and are already selling courses about it. The real root issue is this: you don't need more content, you need a guide. Someone who's been in this for over a decade, who's made the mistakes, who's helped real people navigate this, who can sit down with you and say, here's where you are, here's where you need to go, and here's exactly how we get you there. Once you add that, everything else gets a lot easier. And that's exactly what the Bitcoin Blueprint is. It's a 4-month coaching program built around one simple idea. You shouldn't have to figure this out alone, and you definitely shouldn't have to learn it the way I did. Here's how it works. When you come in, we start with a one-on-one call, just you and me. I learn about your situation, what you already know, what you're confused about, and what your goals are. And from that, I build you a personalized brief, not some generic curriculum, but a custom roadmap of exactly what you need to learn, in what order, and what your milestones should be. From there, you get ongoing one-on-one calls, group calls, other members, access to our private community, and direct support when questions come up. And here's the part that people often don't expect. I also help you with how to talk about this with the people in your life, your partner, your family, your friends, because if you can't bring them along, it creates friction. And Bitcoin should not be a source of stress in your relationships. It should be seen as a positive thing, as it has been for every other person I've ever onboarded. This is not a course you watch alone. It's a guided experience with someone who's been in this space for 13 years and spent nearly a decade helping organizations and individuals understand it at a high level. And while I personally don't give specific financial advice, if you ever need that, I happen to work with a Bitcoin focused financial advisor that I trust, and I can refer you to him so you're covered on that front too. Now, this method didn't come together overnight. It's the result of 13 years of learning, failing, refining, ultimately helping real people make sense of something the rest of the world is still catching up to. And it works, not because it requires you to be technical or motivated or obsessive about checking prices. It works because it gives you a structure, gives you a guide, and it gives you the confidence that's earned, not borrowed from some stranger's tweet. Don't take it from me. Here's some testimonials from people I've worked with in the past. Carolyn and Danny Z say Bitcoin was a foreign concept to us, but intriguing. As an older couple who has to be careful with finances, Brian helped us to gain an understanding that led to confidence in our decision to invest. We highly recommend Brian. Chris and Bruce J say, I totally trust Brian and his knowledge and expertise with Bitcoin. Can't go wrong with him. Nancy T says, Brian was able to explain Bitcoin and remove the distrust and fear around investing. Thank you, Brian. I'm enjoying my profits. Think about what you've tried before. The Reddit rabbit holes at 2 a.m., the courses you never finished, the exchange accounts you opened and then closed because you didn't trust yourself, or the coins you still have sitting on those exchanges because self custody feels too intimidating. Now, picture this instead. 4 months from now or less, you understand this, not just intellectually, but practically too. You know how to buy, store, and think about Bitcoin in the context of your life. You can explain it to someone you love. You have a plan and peace of mind about the whole thing. That's what this is really about. So here's what I'd like to offer you. If anything I've said resonates, if you've been stuck, overwhelmed, or quietly kicking yourself for not doing this sooner, I want to talk to you so that we can figure out where you actually are and what's been holding you back. On the call, we'll map out what's missing, what you need to focus on, what you can ignore, and what a realistic path forward looks like for your situation. And if the Bitcoin blueprint is a fit, I'll tell you about it. If it's not, I'll tell you that too. Either way, you'll walk away with more clarity than you had before, and that much I can promise. But I'll be straight with you. I only take on a limited number of people at a time. This is one-on-one work and it's personalized. I can't do that for 100 people at once. So if you're watching this and something is telling you this is the move, trust that instinct. Because here's the reality. You can keep doing what you've been doing, keep telling yourself you'll figure it out eventually, keep watching the years go by while the opportunity window slowly narrows, or you can take 10 minutes, book a call, and start building the foundation that changes everything. Click the link below, pick a time that works, fill out the short form so I know a little about you before we talk. And that's it. I'll see you soon on the call.